Hey. Welcome, everyone, to Bad Film Good, the podcast where we look at poorly rated movies and we ask the question, is this bad film good? My name is Declan.
You're supposed to jump in.
You're supposed to jump in.
Start it again, quick.
We did it good the first time. We're not going to start again. We're going to carry on. And today, we are looking at the film Doom. That's how you say it. You don't say it as like Doom. It's like Doom.
It's with the question mark, like Doom?
Like Doom? I mean, that's pretty much what it's
Yeah.
Doom? Is this film Doom?
Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure. Is it supposed to be Doom? But before we get into the film and all the interesting things that it holds, Aidan, tell me, what's going on with you this week? Anything interesting?
Well, I've been looking at more Shrek stuff. I know.
You're just looking at more Shrek.
Yeah.
Just looking at more Shrek stuff. Okay.
Well, last time we looked at The Guardian wrote a terrible article, and it just
Scott's
sent me
name
down.
is burned into my brain.
Yeah, Scott McTominay or whatever it was.
Something. Just
Something
Scott.
like. Yeah, so it sent me down a wild goose chase, and now all I do with my time is look at Shrek articles.
All these crazy Shrek articles, yeah. Well, tell me then, Aidan, what is Shrekking this week then?
What's Shrekking this week is that this article is on Junkie, and the title is "The Guardian just got dragged through the swamp for trying to claim that Shrek is shit." There's a follow-up. There's more.
There's more to the saga. Okay.
Yeah. The animated masterpiece that is Shrek turned 20 this week. Obviously, this was a few weeks ago.
What outlet was this again?
This is on Junkie.
Junkie.
Yes.
My guy Junkie pulling through.
My guy Junkie. And as expected, think pieces on the kids' film were aplenty. Blah, 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 saying about different articles that said different stuff. And then it says, and by others, I am specifically talking about Scott Tobias, a film critic from The Guardian, who published an article on Tuesday that called Shrek an unfunny and overrated low for a blockbuster animation.
Brilliant.
Yes, Shrek, the franchise that has grossed over $3.5 billion US. I didn't know that.
My
That's
God.
insane.
That's nuts.
Yeah. And the blockbuster hit that was added to the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress. That Shrek.
That Shrek, yeah.
It goes on to say stuff about how dare you. He quotes the fact that Scott wrote about that Shrek's outhouse flushed. And he wasn't happy about it. And then this guy's like...
Come on.
Yeah, and this guy's like, blasphemy!
Yeah.
Not a working toilet in a tale about a giant ogre and his friend, the talking donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the actual... what's the name of this guy reviewing? Or looking at his... writing this article?
This guy is Michael Rennex.
Michael
Rennex, sorry.
Oh, Michelle.
Quite a contrast.
Michael Michelle
Rennex. But also on this article, there's a bunch of tweets quoted from different people about this article. There was an uproar. There's one with like two. It's from a film with who's not the other Rock, not the Rock, the opposite of the Rock, Kevin Hart.
The other Rock?
Yeah, they're always in the film together.
Other Rock.
The Little Rock.
The Little Rock, yeah.
It's got a picture of him, like, cowering behind someone. It's like me, Shrek, and then they're pointing towards The Guardian.
Yeah, that's good.
Someone said, did Lord Farquaad write this? But the best thing is that this got a response by the boys themselves, Smash Mouth.
I think you say Smurfs there for a second.
Smurf.
Smurfs are
Papa
getting in on this.
Smurf was
Papa
pissed.
Smurf was pulling up his britches and,
Yeah. But Smash Mouth replied to this tweet by The Guardian. I assume they tweet every post they make, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
The reply said, nobody ever.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's...
Smash Mouth are defending their
they're defending
their birthright.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that just made me laugh. The fact that, like, not only was there the Scott just absolutely shitting on Shrek. But then, yeah, the response has not been good to the fact that there's another article following up on it.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's a good Shrekin, I think, this week. And maybe we'll come back with some more.
Yeah,
we'll follow up and see if there's any more on the saga. Anything else going on? That'll be our regular beginning segment about what's Shrekking.
What has been Shrekking?
But yeah. So why don't you take us into the intro on this film? Or am I introing the film? Who wants to intro the film?
I can intro the film. Yeah, this week we did Doom, 2005 film Doom. If you haven't seen Doom, I'm sure a lot of people have, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's great.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We won't say if it's bad film good or bad film not good. Just yet. You have to stick around for that.
Yeah. Basically, if you haven't seen it, there's a facility on Mars and there's some creepy shit going on. So The Rock and Karl Urban and some other people go check it out because they're from the military. They turn up.
The military is a place. It's like a country.
Yeah, they're from the military.
Military town.
They're militarian.
Yeah.
They turn up. Karl Urban sees his sister because she's working at the base, and he's mad at her for some reason, which we find out later, sort of. They split up, all the military people. They split up into different groups. Creepy
to look
shit.
for clues.
Yeah, look for clues. Then some more creepy shit happens, as you can imagine. One of the Marines dies, so they decide to go drilling. So they decide to go to the drilling site or something, or whatever it was.
It's like, yeah, because I mean, it's set on Mars, right? So, or like this facility's on Mars where they've been doing some like archaeological dig stuff. So it's the classic, they've unearthed whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they go there because they want to find what's been killing them, essentially. Instead of just leaving Mars. They could have just been like, you know what, nah, bye.
Yeah.
Then more people die. They find out that the genetic mutation, which is making all these creepy creatures, was made by the UAC, the company that they all work for. One of the demon things get through the Ark portal. The Ark is what they use to travel to Mars. So they all go back because they have to kill it. Everyone dies apart from The Rock and Karl Urban. Then The Rock goes a bit mental. Karl Urban gets the gene and becomes superhuman. The Rock and Karl Urban, they have a little fight. Karl Urban wins, and him and Sarah get married or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into that. It's funny because Aidan and I, again, I mean, same as last time, this is one of the ones that we saw a while back and had to, obviously rewatch for this episode. And I remember when we were first looking at it, and I mean, we'll get into it, but you to begin with, you don't know whether she's his wife or his sister. It's not really clear.
Yeah, so, and I forgot. I like you said,
I forgot about all of that.
We'd watched this before, and I'd forgot that they are brother and sister. So again, at the start of the film, I was like, "Oh, they're brother and sister? What the fuck?" I thought. Yeah. But anyway, this film made in 2005. It was directed by Andrzej Bartkowiak.
I'm sure that's how he says it.
Yeah, that's how he says it. And if you say anything else, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It stars Karl Urban, as mentioned. Rosamund Pike, she plays Sam.
Somebody, I think it's PK. That's how you...
Oh, PK, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she plays Sam. Dexter Fletcher.
We're kidding, by the way. We know how to say Rosamund Pike just before anybody goes nuts. Sorry, carry on. I felt like if it was left.
No, we should have left it.
We should have left
People
it. We'll do it. We'll do it each week. We'll get like one person on the cast list that we just butcher the name of. That's like the most easiest name. We'll just be like Dwayne,
the Roque, Johansson,
Johnsone, Johansson. And Karl Urban. And,
Karl Urban. Every week, Karl Urban.
You got the name wrong. Don't you know The Rock? Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh? Yeah, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's in this. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
The Rock.
It had a budget of 60 million, but it only made 58 million. So,
that's
bad.
That's rough. Yeah. That is rough.
Yeah, consider it like if you double the budget of the 60 million, that's probably how much they spent on marketing. So
for everything,
not great.
That is rough.
Yeah, it has 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Not very good. 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's like 18%, isn't it?
Yeah, and 34 on Metacritic. Metacritic.
So
again, I did that last time.
Did you? It's just the Council of Crickets.
Yeah.
You know, because if it's bad enough, then they chime in with the cricket noises.
Yeah. No, it's how many times they chime is what the score is. So they only chimed 34 times. So
I see. Yeah, different points in the movie when it kind of died out, and then they chimed in.
Good.
Well, I mean, sorry, carry on. I'll speak in a second.
Yeah, you damn bell. You better wait for me.
You we're just all over the place. It's so hot at the moment.
It's so hot.
We're just like, it's not even that hot outside. It's just like, I mean, it is, but
I'm boiling. I'm sweating.
We've got to close the windows so you're not hearing everybody outside talking on the podcast. The fan's got to be turned off.
Yeah,
we're just sitting here stewing.
God damn. All right, but yeah. If I have 60 million, in my back pocket,
in your bum pocket,
in my bum,
just like 160 million note,
take it out of my crack. Look, pitch me this film, sell me this film, and I'm going to give
sell you this
million.
film. Well, I'll tell you how Netflix sells it quickly. First, it's a pretty vague description that it doesn't really describe the film that well, but I'll do it in my my film voice. A special ops squad investigating fuck. A special ops
Netflix?
Squad investigating Netflix. I'm reading it word for word from here. And this is how it is. So, investigating a distress signal from a distant planet discovers that mutant aliens have already wiped out most of the population. Which I'm pretty sure is not true. I mean, they get there and it's killed like 2 people, maybe?
Yeah.
Like 4. Or like there's a bunch of scientists missing.
Yeah, killed a couple of scientists. And that's
I think they just they put the film on in the background. They didn't really know what it was.
Yeah. I mean,
but if I'm going to pitch this film, I mean, come on, Netflix. If I'm going to pitch this film, here we go. When demons start harassing your wife on Mars, send in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Karl and a couple of other people who definitely aren't just going to die, like, straight away. You've got the kid. That's literally his name. They don't have any other name for him. It's just the kid. You've got the weird creepy guy. You've got all the archetypes that you need. They're coming in. They're going to save you. They're going to save all the scientists, except they're probably not, because they're all probably going to die. But find out in Doom. Kind of.
Kind of Doom, yeah.
Kind of Doom. It's like Doom in... It's like they started with Doom, and then they were like, what can we change? And then they kind of keep changing things, and they're like, oh, what if it was just this? And then they got rid of that project, they got something else, and then took all of those little elements that they had from Doom and then stuck them on, and they were like, they'll do.
Yeah. I feel like we should say that straight up. This film is called Doom. This film is not Doom.
It is not.
I mean, it's... If you know anything about this film, then that's kind of the main thing about
Doom.
it. Yeah, or the game Doom. Yeah, that's the main thing, that this just is called Doom and has nothing to do with it apart from a few little nods here and there.
Yeah, like, it's the what do you say, the UAC? That's
the
in
UAC,
Doom.
and it's got the BFG.
You've got some like little, the BFG, like little nods to things.
And
it's called the Bioforce gun. Rather than, I mean, he calls it the big fucking gun, which is what it's called. Which is why I made a note on that where I was like, oh, it's called the Bioforce gun. Like, come on, don't wuss out of it. If you're gonna call it the BFG, then you got to. And then when The Rock goes in and he's like, big fucking gun, and I was like, okay, all right, well, at least they did that.
Yeah. They had to make The Rock say it. He's the only one that can deliver that line.
With his eyebrows, with like the intense stare,
the popping eyes,
the popping eyes, like the head tilt down slightly, and the eyebrow, like, it's got some strong like eyebrows. You know what I'm saying?
He's slapping his forearms.
Yeah, but
big fucking gun.
But they have a lot of like references to stuff. The classic kind of, it's a video game movie, so they make the kind of references for the fans that they can be like, hey, they said the thing, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, I think quite quickly like when they get to the facility or something, I know at some point, oh no, it's on their way there when The Rock's character, Sarge, because he's the leader of the team, turns to the tough guy who is sort of supposed to be, I guess, Doom guy. Like, he kind of takes on that role by the end, which is Karl Urban's character. He kind of looks like him as well. Like, if you look at the old...
I guess so, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did make that note that there's not really a Doom guy.
There isn't really one, but kind of by the time you get to the end of the film, it's like kind of, you could see it. But he turns to him and he says something about having to like face his demons, and I was like, hey, like actual demons.
There's a lot of that. Which
was in relation to his wife/sister. Which is just great.
Yeah. So
it's set in 2046 as well, so it's this portal to Mars has been open for like they discovered it like 20 years ago.
They're
doing archaeological shit with it.
Yeah, for something that's been going for 20 years, they really don't have a lot of protocols for this sort of thing.
Yeah. They don't even have, like... So, they have to go through the portal thing, the arc, right? Which is just this kind of floating, globby, weird kind of water. It's like a 0G water ball kind of thing. And then when they get the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they step into it and it kind of like... sucks them up and teleports them off. When they come out the other side, all of them, when they come out the other side, they fall to their knees and their hands and knees and they throw up on the floor. If this is like a thing, and they know it's a thing, and they've been running this place for 20 years, why don't they have a facility for like just a bucket or something? Yeah. Like, they just let every person who comes through just fall to the floor and like throw up all over the place. You've got like one guy who's hired just to clean up everybody's sick every single time somebody comes through. He's like the sick guy, yeah. They're just like, sick on the arc floor. It's like,
they're like,
didn't tell me there was a shift coming through.
Yeah, they're like, clean up on arc floor. Clean it. He's like, yeah, I know, that's my job. By the
time I'm finished cleaning, the next person come through. Okay?
Yeah. There's sick literally nowhere else. Not in the toilets, nothing. It's always on the arc floor.
Nothing
just call
gets
my
cleaned around
name.
here, just the floor.
But this, so right at the start, so we get like the opening credits, and then it starts bang straight up, like people running away from something. You don't see what it is.
Big scary.
Yeah, and then so there's creepy music playing. It's like dun, 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 dun. But then for some reason it cuts in and the creepy music just turns to like a funky guitar riff. It's like bow, bow, bow.
It's probably like trying to be very Doom-esque,
I guess.
I know, yeah, Doom.
It's just like
it's got
so
that
out
kind
of
of
place.
like bow, bow, bow.
Yeah.
And I mean, straight off the bat, we're getting hands chopped off.
Yeah, we are.
They're like sealing the door behind him, and this woman's like, "No, let me through."
Yeah,
and she just keeps her arm. I mean, I know you're like desperate to get through, but she'd know that door would cut that arm off. I mean,
yeah.
But it's kind of it falls on the floor, and the film is kind of like, this is a surprise tool that we'll keep for later.
Yeah. You like this arm? Well, just you wait. But yeah, the funny thing about that bit is I think it's Dr. Carmack, right? He's
Carmack,
like, yeah. So he's the guy that's running away.
Yeah.
And he runs. He kills that woman by trapping her out of this room, and then he goes to upload like his latest vlog or whatever, saying that there was a breach and something's going wrong.
Like, what's up, guys? I'm here at the UAC facility.
It's me, Dr.
I'm about
Carmack.
to be eaten.
Yeah.
It's your boy Carmack.
But before that, subscribe to NordVPN.
Yeah.
Use code Carmack.
Yeah.
But he's talking to the camera, and then like there's a bang at the door, and he turns around with this like shocked face, like, and then just turns around and carries on talking. Like, nothing.
Yeah, classic kind of. Yeah.
It's like, there's something coming in. The experiment's gone wrong, and I don't know what it is.
So anyway,
yeah.
But is that? Do we get the title? We get the title things then, where it has like the title card with Doom, and you've got like the weird. It's like a Transformers thing where the Doom kind of sign is like putting itself together slightly. It's like ching, 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 all this kind of forming it. Like, why?
Yeah, it's not relevant to anything.
It's not relevant.
It's not the doors sliding together or whatever.
Yeah, you just see like some arms falling off of the Doom logo. Yeah. People's arms are getting chopped off through the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just symbolic of the fact that this has nothing to do with Doom. Just like the film.
Do you get it? It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
But we see that after the title, that's when we get introduced to all the guys, right? And there's just so many of them. There's so many of them which are just like nothing. Like they say a couple lines and you're just like, I know you're gonna die. So
I tried to make like a as I was like seeing people, I was trying to make like a note of what I thought. I think this is what we did originally as well, but like because I don't remember the film that well as to what happens to who and whatever. Yeah. So I tried to make like a note as I saw people appear of like what their archetype was, like who they were. So I was like, I've got them all noted down here. So I was like, okay. Sarge, I mean, he's the first one that you see. You know, he's like the leader, right? It's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. He's sat at a computer. It's skinny Dwayne the Rock Johnson as well.
Yeah,
skinny Dwayne the Rock Johnson is like still 5 people, but he's but you know what I mean. But he's not. You know, he's not 15 people.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or 30 Kevin Hart.
Or 30 Kevin Harts. Yeah. So you got Sarge, which is him, is the leader guy who seems to have short term like amnesia, because when they get like the code red thing through, he keeps he's like Solid Snake, he just keeps repeating the thing. So it's like code red, and he goes, code red. It says assess level of threat, and he says, assess level of threat, search and destroy, search and destroy. He just keeps repeating what he's saying. But then you kind of see the room of all of the guys. They're like throwing shit around and kind of making a mess of the place. Like some.
Yeah, I made a note of that. They're throwing an orange, and
I was an orange.
It was important to me because one of them is called Portman, right?
Yeah,
and he's like the kind of off the rails crazy guy.
He's a creepy.
Yeah, he's the creepy guy. They say like he's introduced because they're going off on holiday before they get called up.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, he says something about, they're like, oh, what are you gonna do? And he's like, I'm gonna go to a motel and have sex with a trans person or something.
He says like 3 ladyboys, I think he says.
Yeah, just like
yeah. He's gonna go and find himself 3 ladyboys.
Yeah, and so he's meant to be the insane person, but he's not, because the guy 100%. There's the Christian guy, right? He catches the orange and bites into the orange without peeling it, and then spits it out. He's the insane one.
He's the real wild card.
He's the loose cannon.
That's a real wild card move there. Yeah, some wild energy. Yeah. Well, I originally, I think I just wasn't. I must have looked down for like 2 seconds when I was watching it, because for some reason I thought that Portman, the creepy one, was the religious one. Because, like I said, I mean, you've got, I'll just run through them quickly. You've got the leader, you got the tough guy, you got the newbie, you got the creepy guy, you got the gamer, you got the big gun, you got the religious guy / asshole, is what I titled him as, and then the first to die. He isn't actually the first to die, but that's what I termed him as, because that's what it just seems like he's going to be the first to die. But the religious guy, I mean, that's the first thing you see. He's putting like a cross around or taking it off of his neck or whatever. You're like, okay, we get it. That's his thing. For some reason, I thought it was creepy guy, so I originally labeled religious guy as just the asshole, because he just I don't know. There was something about him. He just looked like he's going to be an asshole or something.
He gives off that vibe.
That kind of vibe. And later on in the film, he pranks somebody by he pranks the creepy guy by telling him to touch this thing that's electrified, and he's like, and he goes, you asshole. And I was like, yes, I was right, I told you. I knew it.
It makes me laugh in that bit as well. The religious
asshole, I guess you could say.
But did you catch the gamer guy's name? Because
yes, Duke, right?
Okay,
or Duke,
because
I sat there with a little handheld thing.
You say, you say he's the gamer guy. It's literally because of that one.
Because of that one thing.
He sat on a bed playing like an off-brand Space Invaders, and he's like, he says, "Yeah, this game is layered, man." Like, he's playing Space Invaders. Like,
in 2046.
It's like,
you know.
What do you mean it's layered?
Where's the PS like 7?
Yeah.
There's like a handheld, the PSP Ultra or something, you know.
Yeah, and they've gone back to 32-bit or something.
Yeah. I don't know when this because I've written like just small things next to, so I put him as like the gamer, put his name Duke, and I've just got a quote where he just says, "Say my name, baby," which he says at some point. I think it's when they're like getting their gear or something, and it's like saying each of their names.
Oh yeah, that's it. Because they do like, I think the film
like
realizes that there's just so many of them, and like they're all
too many,
kind of similar. So they get round it, or they try to get round it by, I guess it's like some DNA code. So only they can use the gun or something?
Yeah, I think the guns are like assigned to them, right?
Yeah,
so,
and it's saying all their names. But like, honestly, who cares? There's just
so
many
signs
of them
as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
some of them,
many
of them, and they're gonna die anyway. You're just like,
it's that kind of fun.
Yeah,
because you've got some of them are called things like Reaper, the Destroyer, and then you've just got like Mac.
yeah.
Just Mac or Portman.
Yeah.
And then the Kid, and then he goes, "The Kid?" Like, what? That's my name?
Yeah.
I don't think you even know his name in the end. It's just the Kid.
Just the Kid. I checked the credits, but I'm pretty sure he's credited as the Kid as well.
The Kid. Yeah.
Yeah, so they go through the portal. It's called the Ark, right? Yeah. It's like this weird goo thing that, like you said, makes them throw up. And they're like, there's this point. This is where you find out that like Karl Urban doesn't want to go because he has his wife or sister. Still unclear.
Well, because he says the only thing he says is like, I think Sarge asks, "How long has it been?" or something like that, and then he's like, "I haven't seen her in 10 years" or something.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's when he says, "You got to fish a demon sometime." And you're like,
But he's like, he asks him like he's like, "How long has it been?" And then he just stares at him with that like the Rock stare. He looks almost angry.
Like, he does that on everything. It's so great. This is funny. Like, I feel like this is the time when The Rock was kind of. It sounds like I'm not saying he's a serious actor. Obviously, he's done like lots of really good stuff, but like it's when he was kind of being an actor doing a role rather than. It feels like nowadays, whenever he's in a film, it's like, oh, it's The Rock playing this person. You know what I mean? Like now that he's The Rock, when he's in a film, it's things like Jumanji and stuff where he's like, oh, look, he'll make a kind of. He's in somebody else's body and he looks at himself and he's like, oh my God, I'm so strong. Yeah. And he does his like smoldering look and whatever. And it's all kind of like inside jokes and things like that. Whereas this is like, he's very much this character and he's not yet The Rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he just does the smoldering look on everything. There's a bit later on where they find a doctor that's holding that arm that fell off earlier, the doctor from the beginning. When they find him and he's bit crazy and he's holding onto this arm. At some point he drops the arm and there's like this weird back and forth where Sarge stares at the arm as if it's like he's like and this like zooms in between. It zooms in on the arm, it zooms in on his face, it zooms in on the arm, it zooms in on his face.
And
he's doing the like intense stare. Right? And then he just looks up at what's going on. So it's brilliant.
So they go through the portal, right? And it's I wrote down the time. It's 11 minutes 45 seconds, and that's when we're introduced to Pinky.
Which, as I'm sure all you gamers out there will know, that is the name of one of the demon types of the demon type in Doom. Just for some reason.
Pinky's played by Dexter Fletcher, director of Rocket Man, Eddie the Eagle. He produced Bohemian Rhapsody. Done loads of stuff. It's at this moment I realised that last episode, I said Doom starring Steve Buscemi, and I thought Steve Buscemi for some reason was Dexter Fletcher. For some reason in my head, I crossed my wires, and I remembered Steve Buscemi.
You just like you see his face and it just kind of like warps and kind of goes like all misty and then it just comes back into clarity and it's Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. I don't know how like I got that, but literally he popped up and I was like, why did I think this is who I thought Steve Buscemi was? I was like waiting for him to pop up and I'm like, no, wait, this is
like, hi guys, I'm Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was him. That'd be great.
Yeah,
he would have been funny in that film, I think.
They like split at that point. That's when they like split up into 3 groups.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole I don't think we actually said the whole idea is like, I mean, obviously you see the scientists in the beginning that are being chased down and stuff, but they're being brought into that place because, and it's populated with people. There's like loads of people all in this kind of area, but there's one section that I think is like cordoned off because they don't know what's going on. They only have this like recording, this like internal phone that was left off the hook, and they're like, and what did it say? And they press play, and it's just, and you're like, okay, so why didn't they just evacuate everyone if they know that there's like a massive, like something's going on, and like all these people are fucking dead or whatever? It's so weird.
Like, when they later they like say like when they start to realize something is really wrong. They're like, okay,
like one or two of their people are dead already.
Yeah. They're like, okay, we definitely got to evacuate the place. And people are like, oh, come on, man. I don't want to go back. Oh, come on, man. And it's like,
they shouldn't be here now.
Just
they don't want to have to deal with all the vomit on the other end.
Yeah.
The other guy's on his break.
Man, this guy's on holiday, 2-week vacation.
They just like sweep it into the corner. You know, he'll deal with it when he gets back.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean they split up, but they leave Mac, who says about 3 lines in this whole film.
yeah.
They leave Mac at the entranceway with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
That's who he is now.
Yeah. Steve Buscemi.
They leave him there with Steve-O. Or not actually Steve-O. Yeah, Steve-O's there as well.
Steve-O, he's Mac. He plays Mac.
I'm just here with Pinky.
And this is the Ark. And then just like runs and throws up. Like,
Jackass Ark Edition, man.
Just like,
we're gonna make some demons.
The Rock's like, please can you guard Pinky so nothing gets through? He's like, yeah, but first I'm gonna break my leg. Snaps it in half.
I'm gonna get a demon to eat my balls.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So they leave Mac with this one guy, and Mac just like nods, like he doesn't say anything.
He's just like
he's such a non-character. It's painful.
They love they at that point they love cocking their guns. They cock their guns so much, and then before they split up, they're like, okay, you're gonna go here, Mac. You're gonna stay behind. Blah 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 blah. And they're like, okay, cool. And then in unison, they all cock their guns again. It's like they go to shoot, but they've just emptied their clips because they've just reloaded every shell out. They're like, oh shit, should have done that for dramatic effect.
It was cool though, as he's being like eaten alive. He's like, it was cool though. And they were like, yeah, it was definitely worth it.
Yeah.
But they have Portman in the beginning doing this creep thing, right? Where, because they arrive and obviously there's, like I said, there's loads of people on the floor, like scientists, whoever. Yeah. And he goes up to a group of women. He's like, I'm going to have to strip search you girls because we're quarantining and I got to strip you down. And then they all walk away from him because he's being creepy. And then he tries to do the same again to Rosamund Pike's character. I think it's Sam, Dr. Sam.
Yeah.
Kind of as she's walking past and she ignores him. I was like, what if they, I mean, obviously they wouldn't because you'd have to be stupid, but like, what was he expecting? Like, would they just turn around and be like, "Oh, really? Right, okay." And then his whole team is just watching him like strip search this woman.
Yeah.
It's like, are you done?
Nice.
And he's like, oh, yeah. And they're like, what are you doing? Can we go? Like, the fuck? You know, it's such a weird. Like, it's creepy, obviously for the sake of being creepy, and like, but it's such a dumb, you know. And then you know, Dr. Sam Grimm turns up because of course, I mean, John's last name is Grimm, so they named him Reaper. To begin with, I was like, oh, Grim Reaper, very funny. And then they say it later on. His sister kind of takes the piss out of him for it. Sister/wife. Because like she turns up. Duke's probably my favorite character. I don't know, because he just comes out with random things. The absolute gamer, yeah.
Oh right.
Because she turns up and he goes, "Hello, Samantha."
Yeah.
And everyone just looks at him. Like it just like right there. They just look at him, they're like, "Mate,
yeah,
you doing all right?"
He's like, "Oh, sorry."
Sorry, carry on. I thought you couldn't hear me. They're like right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you kind of get this. You then get the sense that that's who Karl Urban's character, Reaper, John, whatever you want to call him, Mr. Grimm. You get the sense that that's who they were talking about when they were saying, it's been 10 years since I've spoken to her or whatever, because they have that immediate kind of like passively kind of ripping into each other a bit, like taking the mick out of each other's jobs, in like a real kind of passive kind of bickering way. And it literally, you're just like, oh, they are divorced. Like,
yeah, exactly.
They used to be married. Like, I don't know, there's just you get a different feeling if it's meant to be a sibling thing. And it just does not feel like that. And everybody stood there as well, like a tennis match, watching them back and forth. Like, damn, ooh.
Yeah. They're like eating popcorn.
Yeah.
And then, I think, it might be Duke again.
It's Duke again, 100%. I know what you're going to say, yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, he is the audience, because he's like, oh, wait, so, I thought they were married. They're brother and sister? Is she single?
Yeah, because so he says to John, he's like, damn, how do you let that piece of ass get away? And then he's like, she's my sister. And he goes, no shit.
Sorry, that was awkward. Like, I thought you were together. Oh, God. Oh, sorry. I'll stop talking now. He's like, damn.
It's like, no shit. Well, see, I do like some of the interactions between the crew. Like, they do. It's kind of on and off. They do feel like a crew that's worked together for a while, but then at other times not so much. But like where he says that, and then I think it's the big gun guy. I don't know what his name is. What's his name? I think I should have it written down here somewhere. I just called him the Big Gun. Oh, they call him the Destroyer for some reason. But yeah, I don't know if we actually know his name because they just call him Stroyer. At one point, Karl Urban calls him Stroyer. It's such an Australian thing. But
I didn't get that.
At some point, they just go Stroyer. Like Destroyer wasn't enough. But he turns to him after Duke says that. And he's like, oh, don't do this again, man. Like, he's going to, he knows he's going to try and hit on his sister or something.
Oh, yeah.
So, you kind of have that, like, back and forth between them, which is, quite good, where they know each other and they're a team. And he's like, come on, don't be doing this again, you asshole. So they split into, it is 3 groups, right? Yeah, 3 groups, because it's like... Does Mac count as a group on his own? In the reception area.
Okay, maybe it's 2 groups. I'm not sure. But they split up, and it's like, okay, we're gonna scout out what the fuck's happening.
It's 3, yeah. It is 3.
Yeah, you guys, you gotta recover data and whatever it is. But they're like, okay, someone has to stay here with Samantha. And then The Rock's like, Karl Urban.
Yeah.
You stay here and sort out all of your life problems. Like, you could have just left the rookie there.
And they both look mortified.
Yeah. Like, why?
Yeah.
Just get anyone.
Because we need to know the backstory.
Yeah.
That's why.
Exactly. But it's just like, okay, all of us, we need to do the dangerous stuff. Karl Urban, you have the awkward interaction. Go.
I guess he said to him, you got to face your demons or whatever. So the character of Sarge is very strange because he kind of starts off just seeming like he's their Sarge, he's in charge of the team, they've got the mission, and he's just kind of very, by the books, he's getting on with it. You see him do this, so, on one hand, it's kind of an asshole move, on the other hand, maybe he's trying to do a bit of tough love and get him to talk to his sister, something like that. But at some point, he just ends up being an asshole. He just ends up being, like, intentionally maliciously bad.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I
don't know where that starts.
I did make notes about this, and I put, like, I think he's quite a good antagonist because like you said at the start, he's like making a lot of sense. He's like, everything's by the book. Like, we have to do it this way.
Yeah,
like,
these are the mission parameters and all this kind of stuff. Very military kind of thing.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll get to it, but even at the end, he's like, he goes a bit psycho. But what he's saying is still makes sense.
There's a degree of logic to it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're like, okay, that's fucked, but also kind of on this guy's side,
Yeah.
But yeah, I get to that a little bit later. But before that, so The Rock and Duke are together. They're like trying to scope out what's going on. They go to the special weapons unit, and they see some like creepy stuff, right? And Duke's like he's like, man, what's going on? There's some weird shit. And the Rock's just staring at the BFG on a computer, just like not listening to him whatsoever. He's like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go find this gun. All right, this cool looking gun that I've seen on the computer. This is more important now. And the guy's like, yeah, but what if there's, there could be demons? It's like, yeah. Cool.
I'll be right with you. Just give me a minute.
Just gonna go in this
typing
room,
on
and
this,
it's locked.
Typing on this thing like,
literally.
He's like, Sarge, I'm being eaten alive.
He's like, yeah, I'll be.
What do you think the password is to this? Get into this gun.
Yeah. Is it BFG? I tried that already.
Yeah. But I mean that you've then obviously got the awkward conversations between the guy and his wife / sister. As I put in there that they have to reiterate that they are related in order to remind the audience that they're not man and wife. Because
it's just
like so many times. I mean, they have the bit in the beginning where it's like, she's my sister, and then a bit later when there's like an archaeological thing that they dug up is a bunch of bones that's like preserved. This mother with her child, whatever, that she calls Lucy, right? And she's Lucy, meet my brother John. Like,
yeah.
This is my just remember this, people. This is my brother. Okay. Any conversation that we're gonna have from now on, you just gotta have it with the context of him being my brother. Don't worry about the wife thing. Okay. That was in a previous version of the script, and we put in some small cutaways to make sure that it's my brother.
It's funny. Their interactions are so like askew and stuff because you think they're together when they're brother and sister. They asked Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg to tidy up the dialogue, and they both said no. They were
really?
Like, "Fuck that!" Yeah. It's on the facts page.
No way.
They asked. They also asked. Fucking.
I guess that'd be off the back of like Shaun of the Dead and stuff, right?
Yes,
because that was 2004. Yeah. So yeah.
They asked fucking La Familia guy. What's his fucking name? The other The Rock.
The
Fast
other The Rock? Oh, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, the other The Rock.
They asked him to be in it, and he was like, lol, no.
Oh, man.
And The Rock was going to be John Grimm, and then he decided to be Sarge, because he said it was more interesting.
Yeah, Sarge
Which is
a more
true,
fun character
actually.
to play. Yeah, for sure. He's got a bit more range to him. He's got more opportunities to intensely stare with things.
Yeah.
With these, with those popping eyes.
Samantha's just like, remember what Dad taught us? And he's just like staring at her.
She's like, this is why we don't talk anymore.
Yeah. Nothing bad happened. You just don't say anything. You just stare at me.
Just stare. There's a line that she says that I thought was just. I feel like it's a line that they in the writers' room. I don't know how many people had writing credits on this, but I feel like it's a line that they thought was really clever. They were like, "Yeah, let's keep that in," because she was like, "Does it ever bother you that you could have spent your life looking at a microscope instead of your sniper scope?" And I was like, shit. Somebody they wrote that and then they called it a day. They're like, I'm going to sit back and enjoy I got to that point. I put that in. That's pretty good. I'm going to go and treat myself now.
Yeah, I love
Job
that.
well done.
That whole scene is so good. There's so many funny lines,
meme kind of bits. Yeah.
So the whole thing is that like Samantha's explaining what they've been doing on Mars, and they found Lucy. Was it Lucy?
That's
skeleton?
What she calls. Yeah.
They found Lucy, and it turns out they're superhuman because they have a pair of extra chromosomes.
Yeah.
Which
I mean,
that's
how we
like I'm sure
with what we know about extra chromosomes in the human genome, that's not what happens.
I'm sure you can see why that's not entirely true, but hey, that's what they went with.
Yeah.
But he's like, she shows him the DNA, and he's like, I don't fucking know.
I don't speak DNA.
Yeah. He's like,
DNA Z's.
But then Samantha goes nerd. Like, she's like, oh, come on, what's the first thing Dad taught us? Like, what? The first thing that he taught you was humans have 23 chromosomes, not riding a bike, like learning how to walk, spelling, maths. No, he's like
gene sequencing.
Yeah, it's like 2-year-old. They're like, humans have 23 chromosomes. Say it with me.
Look at this chart.
I want to go to bed. It's 3 a.m. 23 chromosomes. But that bit also has my favourite line from the film, which is delivered by Karl Urban. And he says it's in reference to Lucy again, because she's shielding her baby.
I think I know. Yeah,
she's shielding her baby. And Karl Urban dramatically says, "You don't shield a baby from time."
Yeah, because the idea is, maybe they just died out or something. I don't remember what she says. And he's like, "You don't shield a baby from time."
Yeah.
Well, the other where she says about how, they think they artificially made that, basically, that extra extra set of chromosomes to make themselves superhuman and whatever. And then he's like, "Didn't bloody help them, did it? They're dead."
Oh, good. Yeah, and so after that bit, we start to go into like the creepy stuff, right? So they see Dr. Carmack. I keep
just call him Tarmac or Carmack.
Cormac.
Yeah.
I wrote Corma in my notes.
Oh, you wrote
I wrote Corma for some reason.
Dr. Corma, yeah.
But yeah, like it's Dr. Corma running around.
Karma Chameleon,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, Karma Chameleon. It's Boy George running around, and they're all spooked. Like, for some spec op specialist team that's been trained for years, they're really just like, bang, 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 kill it, fuck, what was that? Oh my god!
Especially since they're looking for the scientists, right? So if they're running around, I mean, they know that there's something dangerous around, I guess, but like they've seen
like body parts and like fucking blood everywhere, and still they're like, oh my god, bang, 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 bang.
I've got it noted here as well, because this is when Sarge sees the arm, because they find Dr. Carmack. He's kind of run to this corner, and he's looking all wigged out, and he's covered in blood, and he's got this big hole in his neck and all this kind of stuff. And he's holding his arm when he drops it, and like I said, he does the kind of weird zoom between the arm and his face, and he's looking at it. I've just got it noted here that the expression on his face is like, this arm is supposed to be attached to a person.
yeah. He's like, wait a minute.
And he looks up into the middle distance like, something's not right here.
Yeah. That bit's funny as well, because it does come into play. It's not just random. But Dr. Carmack's like completely freaking out, shaking. And then he just stops and straight up rips his ear off.
Oh, yeah.
With no fuss or anything. He's just like, stops and then just goes... And they all go, oh! Yeah, they were like, what the fuck? Which, again, in the military, you'd assume they've seen some shit.
Yeah, they've seen some stuff, for sure. Yeah, I mean, with that kind of stare, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character is definitely seen some shit.
Definitely.
It's like everything he looks at, he gets like war flashbacks. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of going back and forth in corridors and going from one place to another and chasing things or being chased by things.
Yeah.
For a good portion of this film, because I know that the other group, so it's like, I think it's Goat, and Goat is the religious nut guy.
Okay, yeah, and then Creepy Guy.
I think, yeah. What is it? I don't know, because they all mix and match and run around. It's kind of, I don't remember who's with who at what points, but I know that there are a couple of them who, they go into this room, it's full of like animals in cages, and then there's like a scientist in there who's like the head of a rat and being all zombie and all this kind of stuff. And they kind of, again, there's chasing, whether they get chased by him or they chase him or whatever. When they come back around to this room with all the... Oh, no, I'm getting myself mixed up. They come back to the room, like when they find the scientist there. They've been to the room already, because... They did see the animals in the cages, right? So they see all the animals in the cages. They go off and do whatever. When they come back, the animals aren't there. And he's like, what happened to all the animals? And all of the cages are like ripped open. Like, there's blood. There's like big globs of just like meat hanging from these cages and stuff where they've been just like ripped apart. And he's like, whoa, what happened to the animal?
Yeah. And that's after they've been like chasing around and like creepy shit's been happening. They're aware of what's been going on. They're like, something's not right.
And you get that 2000s action kind of shot where the zombie guy runs after them after they kind of warn him. They're like, "Oh, stay there." The zombie runs after them and they shoot him, and him being shot by a rifle sends him like flying back to the other side of the room. Like he's just been hit with like an explosion. It's great. But there's a lot of that kind of just the creepy stuff where they hear some stuff moving and then they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And then maybe they shoot at it, or there's, different people kind of doing the same thing in different places. I mean, you've got the big gun guy who has just like a massive minigun, and there's like something in the vent, and they try to see what it is, and it ends up being like a monkey, one of the animals, and he's just like with this minigun just like ripping through the vent above him because it makes him jump and whatever. And it's probably my favorite quote is at this point, and you probably know which one is at this point when Dwayne The Rock Johnson says to him like, "What was that?" And he looks at him and he's like, "A monkey. Some kind of monkey."
It's so dramatic. He's like, "A monkey. Some kind of monkey." And that goes back to my point as well. They're so jumpy. They're trained professionals, and yet they're so jumpy. Like, he sees a monkey in an event, and he's like, "Ah!"
Also, why would you, if you thought there was something up in that vent, and there's people with, like, arms chopped off and faces torn into it, why would you put your head up into that vent? Especially as a trained military person.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These guys, Dwayne
he just picked them up off the street.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, do you want to pretend to be military guys? We won't have to do anything. Get to hang out." And they're all like,
I'll give you like 50 quid.
Yeah. And then they actually get called up, and he's like, "Fuck, code red." That's why he's repeating everything. Yeah. Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's got to process,
But like you said, they keep splitting up, chopping and changing. There's a bit where, I think it's religious guy and creepy guy. Again, I can't remember the names.
Goat is religious guy. I don't know why. Like, maybe, goat, sheep of the Lord. I don't know. I don't know why he's called goat. They don't explain it.
Yeah. There's just so much that's brushed over in this film. Is ridiculous. So they, him and Goat are walking, trying to look for stuff. I can't remember. And then one of them kicks a paint can or something at the top of some metal stairs, and it makes like a loud noise or whatever. First of all, serious health and safety violation. Who leaves it? Like, I know there's been like crazy stuff been going on, but like,
but we're civilized people.
Yeah, come on, get your shit together.
You got this scientist running away from this thing, chasing them, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, let me just move this out of the way. This is dangerous. I could have tripped on this."
Yeah. Who left this here? Was it the decorators? I've got to have a word with him.
Oh, he's been eaten. Never mind.
Oh, don't worry. But yeah, so Goat, I guess it's him that kicks it over, and it makes a loud noise, so he goes, "God damn it!" And then, because he says God's name in vain, he cuts himself. But then, that's it.
It's just never brought up again.
Yeah, they just brush over it. They're just like, "Oh yeah," and then he cuts himself. Anyway, so then it's creepy, and then these guys...
The other guy looks at him, and he's like, for like an explanation, he's like, "I took the Lord's name in vain." And he's like, you can see there's loads of scars on his arm or whatever. You're like, where is this coming from, and why is it? Exactly. I mean, there is a kind of this whole theme of, I guess, because it's, demonic kind of stuff in like a weird way, and there's stuff to do. They kind of mention God every now and then, but it's not like a really strong, like prevalent theme.
Yeah, exactly. They
throw it in now and then.
Yeah, it's like they forgot that the whole premise of Doom is you're in a game set in hell, right?
It's set on Mars, and then some of them are in hell, and it's kind of here and there and everywhere. But it's demons.
Yeah, so they keep throwing in these lines of just...
in the most classic sense.
Face your demons, and only God can save him now. And whatever. And it's just like, just do hell.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous anyway.
Just make it that they are demons chasing you and whatever.
You've got the whole bullshit about extra chromosomes, and we all know as an audience that's not what happens. So just do the demon thing.
It's kind of weird because it's an extra chromosome, that they've made, but they discover that if you've it's like the way that your kind of genetic makeup is, if you have a certain, they kind of like quote it as like evil, like if you've got a certain kind of setup in your genes, then instead of giving you like superpowers, it turns you into like a monster, into like a demon or whatever. So it's kind of got this idea of like, I mean, somebody says what, like is like an evil gene or something, and then what's the name? The Dr. Grimm, she almost confirms it, because she's like, well, I mean, 10% of the human genome is unaccounted for, and you're like, yep, what? Yeah, it's not an evil gene though. I mean, it's just a virus that targets like a certain, and basically makes them into zombies or weird zombie demon things.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, again, it's so brushed over.
Yeah.
With which they brush over
it's
a lot
doomed,
to
don't worry about
explain. Just do the demon thing. If you're going to brush over everything anyway, brush over the fact that they're all demons. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway.
Goddamn cares.
It's funny because they pick up Cormac, right? Because he's going all crazy. And there's another doctor there for some reason. I don't know where she came from, but she's helping treat.
There's just kind of a bunch of people.
Yeah. She's helping treat Cormac. And she turns to Samantha and she's like, my husband's in there. And Samantha just gives her this look. And she's like, I'm sure he's fine. But the look is just like, he's fucking dead, mate.
Yeah. The look between them is like, look, we both know that this guy's dead, but I'm sure he's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's all right.
Literally. It's like the classic something in Airplane or something, where she's like, oh, he's going to be just fine. And then she's like, just turns away like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, they have lots of strange, they have good bits of dialogue, and then they have not good bits of dialogue, and just like weird random stuff. With this stuff between the kid and Karl Urban's character when they're down in there's a point where they all go down into the sewers to try and find and kill this monster in their different groups. And just out of nowhere, I mean, like, they are sneaking through this stuff, like they know somebody's been attacked, they're like, they've got to be on guard and whatever, and the kid is just like, hey, so you lost your parents too, huh? Yeah. So did I, man. That's like, we're kind of the same, huh? And Karl Urban, I mean, he says what we're thinking, because he's like, the more you're talking, the more you give away where we are, like, what are you doing? But it's just so weird, like, it just comes out. Then again, I think he was on drugs, right? Because he took drugs from that other dude.
Yeah, that's right.
He got, like, again, just a really brushed over thing. Like, for no reason, the creepy guy just had drugs on him. And it was only mentioned when the kid was like, hey, you got some of the good stuff?
And he's like, yeah, I got some drugs, here you go.
Yeah, I got some drugs, here you go. And he gives them to him, and he's like, cool. And then nothing's mentioned again. Apart from Karl Urban being like, oh, you want drugs? And he looks at his eyes being dilated, and the kid's like, it wasn't me.
I'm on drugs. Please don't shout at me, I'm on drugs. And then that's it. It never plays again.
That's pretty much it. Because he says he'll shoot him if he's if he takes more drugs, and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a weird don't do drugs kids kind of. Are you on drugs? Kids, you shouldn't be on drugs if you're being chased by a demonic alien virus. And then they carry on.
But yeah, like, there's so much. There's so much that's just like, oh, and by the way, this. Okay, now next.
Just throw this in.
Yeah. Later on, they're back in the lab, and I think it's because one of the guys gets killed or whatever, and so he gets taken to the lab as well. Can't remember which character.
The thing is
he the first to die?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Mac isn't the first to die because he's just stood around in the in the entranceway, not really doing much. So I think Goat is the is it Goat or the Goat's the religious guy. So I think he gets killed straight away, and then they kind of you have the whole thing where they're getting picked off one by one, and I thought Mac would be the first to die, but he sticks it out for a bit. I think
Yeah, he really does. He doesn't say anything, but he sticks it out.
Yeah, and then when they find him, and you've got this bit where Duke kind of goes down. He's like, "Oh no!" And as soon as he screams, like, "Man down!" because they've just shot they've shot the other creature.
Yeah.
That killed him or kind of like infected him and stuff. Whatever. But when they get to him, Duke's like, "Man down!" And immediately you get this doom kind of guitar, like, "Bow bow."
Yeah.
Bow bow bow. Just out, like, it was none of this before, and then suddenly it's just like, bah, 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 bah. You're like, whoa, man, this is just like the real dude.
Whoa. Yeah, literally. Later on in the lab, so they take Goat to the lab to be like, save him, even though he's dead. Yeah, fucking stupid. And then Cormac, the doctor from before, has just disappeared. And
he's just run off.
Yeah. And then Samantha, like, looks down to where his gown's on the floor. And she's like, oh my God. But then it's kind of like, she's looking at it because she's like saying, oh my God, he's naked. What an embarrassing story. Like, it's so just like, oh my God, he's alive again and now he's loose. It's more like, oh my God, no, that's awkward. Anyway.
Back to my research. Yeah.
Yeah, you're meant to be a scientist. Surely you should be more concerned about this.
Yeah, and when they're talking about like trying to figure out what it is and stuff, like because they take the body of the one they found in the sewer that they killed, they take it back to her for her to have a look at, and she's kind of, you know, being like, and kind of theorizing and saying that they're saying to her, you know, I mean, could it be something that was living on the planet? Like, you know, it's kind of a reasonable thing to say. Like, you know, is there the creatures from this planet now? Because they're on Mars.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the creepy guy who was like, oh, you know, it could have been from another planet, like a different planet. And then she shoots him down like, oh, like an alien or something.
Yeah,
I'm like, yes, you're on Mars.
Yeah,
if it came from Mars, then it's an alien. It doesn't matter which planet it came from.
Yeah, she's like, no, you fucking idiot.
She's like an alien or something. I'm like, you have the bones of an alien in your lab.
Yeah, literally.
Yes, like an alien. And I like that everyone tells Portman to shut the fuck up as well. He, as creepy as he is, he has probably the most moments of like sensible thought. Like he's the one who says about calling for backup. He's like,
yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't we get more people in because we're getting picked off? You know, blah blah whatever. And then the Rock's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, no, we're not having anyone else. We are the backup. And I'm like, there's got to be other people.
Yeah,
Nobody was sent in before you. Like. Surely there's.
You didn't know what it was before.
Yeah,
you just got sent in. Yeah, this is one of the very few films that I've seen though. That so like we said,
general, you haven't seen many films.
This is one of the few films.
Could you imagine if this was like the only you'd never seen a film before, and this was the only film that you'd ever seen, and you were just like, "This is incredible." The writing, the effects. Oh my God, who is this? Who is this Sarge guy?
Yeah,
he seems cool.
The Rock, you say? He should be in other things.
Wow, he stares really intensely.
Yeah.
Does everyone do that?
But yeah, this is one of the very few films that I've seen where like shit starts going really bad, and they're like, "Okay, evacuate right now, evacuate." I was fully expecting them to be like, "We can deal with this. Don't panic, everyone.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up." And they're like, "Nah, get everyone out this right fucking now." I mean, it doesn't matter because they all die anyway. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But at least they tried, and that's all that counts.
Yeah, and I mean, they want to lock everything down. They give Pinky, like, a bunch of weapons. They give him a gun, they give him some grenades and stuff, and they're just like, hold the fort down. And he quite rightly says, like, I'm a civilian. What the fuck am I going to do? I don't know how to... He's holding this gun like it's an alien thing, like he doesn't know how to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they've given him grenades. Like... As Mac is walking away after he's given them to these, Pinky shouts at him. It's how quickly he follows up with it that I thought was hilarious, because he's like, you can't leave me here. I'm not a soldier. And immediately goes, why don't you go fuck yourself?
It's like, I hate you. For no reason as well. Pinky's just like, so I'm the security guy. I'm helping you out. And Mac's like, fuck you. Stupid idiot.
Oh, no, Mac doesn't say that. It's Pinky that says it. So he says both of those lines.
Wait, what?
Like,
I've forgotten this bit, man.
No, as Mac is walking away, he's like, you can't leave me here, I'm not a soldier, and then immediately follows up that line with, why don't you go fuck yourself? Like, it's the quickest 180.
Okay, that changes my perspective.
No, Mike doesn't have that many lines. He doesn't have that many words.
Yeah, I was going to say. Like, one of his only lines. He's like, hi, I'm Mac. Why don't you go fuck yourself?
He would be my favourite character if that was his only line. Yeah.
But yeah,
but they really did Mac dirty in this film, I think.
Yeah, literally.
Pinky said, I think it's a little bit earlier, like Pinky says to him, like, why do they call you Mac or something? He like asks him about his name, and Mac gives his name, which is, he has like I mean, obviously they all have names, but his name is like a long Japanese name, which, I mean, ironically, I didn't write down to say it, considering the point I'm about to make. But he says that, and then Pinky kind of goes like, huh, so Mac then. Even though it's like nothing, there's not even a abbreviation that could make Mac out of that. And then Mac kind of like, you know, does the, and like nods like, like, oh, yeah, that's a good joke. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, don't even make an effort.
They're not even going to make an effort with this guy. You know, God, they did him dirty in the film for sure.
Yeah, they really did, because after that, like, I mean, he's barely a character, we've established that. But all he does in the film is stand next to Pinky, then meet up with the others, and then gets his head
Does he even meet up with them?
I think it's on the way to
like
meet
on
up
the
with
way
them
to them. Yeah. He just gets it like, just his head just pops straight off.
Yeah. And then after that bit is another one of my favorite lines, because I guess the thing that kills Mac starts chasing after Duke, who's with Samantha.
There's just a lot of chasing and who's with who now, and
it's like a
Scooby-Doo thing.
That's,
you know, they're like running between all the doors.
They get chased, they meet up, they split up into different groups, they get chased, some of them are dead now, they meet up, then they split off again, and I think this one's Duke and Samantha, and he's like, they're going back into the lab, and it's something called a nano wall, which is like a wall that turns invisible, you can walk through it.
Very weird, like, again, I feel like it's a thing where whoever was writing it, I mean, I don't know, maybe if it was a pre-established thing in other kind of, you know, pop culture that they took it from, but it just feels like they were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if they had like a wall, but you press a button and it just like, it just goes away, and then when you press a button again, it, and then there's a wall again, because it's just like a random kind of like a mechanic that a plot device thing that they just kind of throw in.
Yeah, literally. And like he says, I don't do nano walls. But why? There's literally like no reason for him to be upset with nano walls. Like later on, I think it's like 5 minutes after and he's like, they're getting chased. They run through the nano wall, and then they turn on the nano wall and it stops the creature. And he's like, that's why I don't do nano walls. Why? I just saved you.
I guess it's because like it like formed the creature was like halfway through the wall or whatever. So he's like afraid that he's gonna get caught in the wall, but just don't turn it off when you walk through, you know?
It's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're fine.
And it's probably a very common thing. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, all this technology, and it's like, oh, nano walls? Are you kidding me? I don't do those.
It's like, I don't do doors.
Yeah, like you're good with going into some weird goo and transporting to Mars, but walking through a wall is too much.
Yeah. After seeing Pinky being cut in half because of it.
and then they meet up again, and the Rock's like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here. You guys go on this bit. You guys go on this bit. And I will be right back. And then like, where are you going? And he's like, I'm just gonna. He
says he needs something with a little more kick. Is what he says.
It's like, but really, he's like, I'm gonna find that gun, dude. It looks so cool. I saw a picture on a computer. I have no idea what it does, but damn, that's a cool gun. I gotta get my hands on that.
Yeah. And then because.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to, carry on. Yeah, it's dumb.
I was just going to say, like, it's just the fact that he's, like, shouting out orders, like, we've got to get this shit done. We've got to evacuate and get the fuck out of here.
Focus on the mission.
Yeah. You guys do this. You guys do this. I gotta...
I'll be back.
Just gotta take care of something. Just real quick.
Yeah, I think at this point, where the nano wall was, I mean, that's like at the entrance to the lab, the wife/sister, Dr. Grimm, Sam Grimm, is where she and Duke are, and then like you have a whole thing where somebody that they thought was dead because they got infected, they came back to life, and they're kind of it's the religious guy. What's his name? Goat. So he's he's trying to get to. I thought he was trying to get towards them because there's this big kind of glass or plasticky kind of glass screen separating them, and he's like bashing his head against it. And every time he bashes his head, she screams. And it's like, and I just thought it'd be really funny if it kept going, because he's like, bash, bash, bash.
Does it like 40 times, and like, she's still like, whoever she's with, I think it was Duke. Duke, yeah. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Like, he's just bashing his head. You know what's going to happen.
Because then the last couple of times, he just like, I think he kind of hits it like kind of quicker, his head against the thing, and then he collapses because she then says, oh, he was trying to knock himself out or kill himself or whatever so that he didn't turn. And I was like, really? I thought he was just a dumb zombie trying to get through the screen. Yeah. You know? But yeah, I just thought it would have been funny if he was bashing his head against the thing and she was going, but like a quicker thing. So it's like, bang, 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 You know.
I think it's that same bit as well where she's like, I think that's like the moment she realizes these things are just transforming into, like the people are transforming into these weird creatures. Because she's she then like checks the appendix or something of one of the monsters. She's like, oh, it's had its appendix removed. Wait a minute, this thing is this guy Willis.
Or it's human, and then
it's like it didn't butcher him, it is him. And Duke just goes like, what? Like, the way he says it, he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not Willis, it's a monster, fucking idiot.
He's got issues with object permanence as well. Something goes out of his sight, and he's just like, oh, well, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, this is a person. He's like, that's not a person.
Yeah.
No, look at it. It's not a person. It's a monster.
It's a monster. Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know, it's always really abrupt when people get jumped by them, though. I don't know. It just doesn't. It's like with Mac when he gets his head popped off. I felt like they were kind of going for like a shock value sort of thing, but he's just talking on the radio, and then he turns around and it's like, oh, he's dead.
Yeah. There's, I think it kind of felt like, because there's a lot of build up in this of them sort of wandering around, figuring out what's going on, and then it just flips. It's just like, okay, we're like an hour in now. We gotta wrap this up. So it's just like bang, 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 kill him, whatever.
Yeah,
kill him, whatever.
Yeah.
He's on the radio, fuck him.
Yeah, you've got a great. Oh yeah, no, the radio thing. That was him. That's it's Portman trying to.
Yeah, that's
like he says he's gonna go take a shit. Like they're being picked off one by one. People are being killed, and he wants to. He's being smart and wanting to go and call for backup. But instead of just like doing that, like stepping aside 1 second and like doing it, he's like, "Oh guys, I'm gonna go to the toilet." What the fuck? You'd be like, "What do you mean you're gonna go to the toilet? Are you serious? We're being hunted. Like, what the hell?" And quite rightly, then he just gets like grabbed and you know, attacked him over. But yeah, they start popping off one by one, don't they?
Yeah. They really
I think the best is like Destroyer. I don't remember if we know what his name is. But him going to head with one of the demons in this like weird prison pit thing, and I don't know why they have this, but it's just a hole in the ground where all the sides are electrified, and that's it. It's just a big thing in the middle, and then they fall in there because he's been attacked by this demon, and he just goes like toe to toe with this guy. He's like throwing monitors at him. He picks up like a monitor by its wires, and he's like swinging it around like a giant like mace, just like whacks him with it. He's just, I was rooting for him, you know. And then I'm pretty sure does he die then? I'm pretty sure he dies then because he gets like he nearly escapes, and then he kind of gets dragged back in, and he definitely dies. You know, it's kind of savage, but I kind of wanted him to survive. You know, but after having that like
after
one-on-one
using
fist
a fucking
off
monitor. To fight.
I remember when we first watched that, and we were like, "No way, he's using the." We were like cheering him on. I love that kind of shit. I wanted more wacky stuff. I think in this.
Me too. There was a lot of wandering about, trying to work out what's happening, and like for a film that brushes over stuff, I feel that there's a lot of wasted potential. Like if they just did the hell thing, just boom, it's hell, demons. And then they could have just done like whatever crazy shit.
I think if they amped up the, well, I don't know about the cheese, but like if they just made them demons, you know, they had kind of just pick a direction, you know what I mean? Like if they had all this kind of, he's going toe to toe with this demon, he's hitting him with monitors and stuff and whatever, like go with that. Or on the flip side, when they have that, like later on where they just have this big long point of view kind of first person section where he's going through and he's shooting zombies, and it's like a it's like a ride at a Disney World or something, you know what I mean? Where you kind of, especially because there's no like bobbing on his view, he's just like gliding along, and it's like a rail shooter is what I'm trying to say. Where he's just like shooting a thing and he turns around and he shoots a thing and it's kind of wacky and cool. Honestly, some of the stuff they do with that, I would have liked to see a film just like that. You know, they've done first person films that turned out reasonably well, so
yeah. Well, I mean, I wrote that because I found it, if they did it now, then I thought it would be a lot better.
It's all in the choreography, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so that scene, the first-person shooter scene, took 14 days to shoot.
14 days?
Yeah, honestly, not worth it.
Yeah, yikes. Like, 14 days, that's rough. I mean, you can see that cut. Do you remember we talked about that the first time we watched it? There's like a bit where he like whips around to look behind him, and it's a very obvious, like it's not even... It kind of is weirdly jarring because at the end of the whip, it suddenly cuts to him looking at this other thing.
Because that's the bit where Sam injects Karl Urban with 24 genes.
Is that
before or after?
It's. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I think it might be after.
No, it is after that. It's directly after that because they. I mean, like we said, I mean, everybody's being picked off. Eventually, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets grabbed by all these demon zombies. That's what they end up being at that point. Like they're all just kind of demon zombies.
Yeah.
They're chasing him. The nano wall, it's not closing for some reason because plot. It doesn't really. For some reason it's not working.
Yeah.
And then they're kind of trying to keep all the zombies off, and then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gets pulled through the thing, and he looks at them like. What does he say? Something
he's like I'm not supposed to die. Yeah. It's not part of the mission. We must obey the mission. I love the mission.
This is not within mission parameters.
Yeah.
And I mean, he gets, after being, I mean, I think we kind of skipped a couple of things. It's not, again, nothing massively important, but at this point, Sarge is like full on he just wants to have everyone killed. Because the infection's like broken out, but only some people can be infected. Again, like we said, you've got this weird thing with the evil in their genes sort of thing. Only the evil people get infected.
Yeah, but, it's like because
but then he's just like kill them all.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. That's a very like military thing, but there is sense to it because. I mean, Samantha's like, oh, their condition, it could be... She's trying to explain to the Rocks. She's like, oh, the condition could be irreversible. Like, look at Carmack. Like, he's all fucked up now, but maybe we can fix him. And the Rock's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Let's just fucking...
But it's presented in a way... Down. It's kind of presented... Like, he has a point where it's like, come on, look at this. This isn't reversible. Like, he's very clearly gone past the line.
He says, I wrote this down. He says, Carmack's condition is irreversible because his condition is that he's dead, and then shoots him in the head.
Yeah, the way they present it. So, like, he comes across as an asshole, and they're like, I can't believe you've done this, and whatever. But he does kind of have a point, because you're like, yeah... There's no way that you can get him back from this point. Yeah, exactly. But he's doing it like he's kind of, especially with the way he's like, you know, acting at this point. He's acting like a crazy man.
Yeah, definitely. But even that, she's trying to say like, oh, see, it's if you're good, then you won't be infected, or like you'll be a superhero, and if you're bad, then it'll fuck you up, and that's fine. But she has no evidence for that, really. She had a swab of brain matter and it reacted to the evil guy. But that's such a loose basis to be like, nah, don't lock it down.
Yeah.
Don't evacuate everyone. It will sort itself out.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's like, fucking no.
Nah, we'll just
kill everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like two extremes.
Yeah, exactly. There's kind of two extremes there. Yeah. Because then, like, the kid then, who hasn't really done like a huge amount, he's just kind of been there for the whole thing and taking some drugs and just having a bit of a wild ride. He's then like, oh, well, I couldn't kill those people because none of them are infected. They're all just hiding out. You know, what do we do? They're safe at the moment. And then The Rock's like, nah, kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I can't. They're not fine.
Infected. Yeah.
They're not infected or anything. And I refuse to do it. I won't do it. So then Sarge just fucking shoots him. And he's like, yeah, you disobey my orders. That's death. That's punishment of death.
And then he gives him a weird stare.
Yeah, and he just stares at them. He's like, challenge me, go on.
Yeah. It's that point then Karl Urban's injured or something, and Sam just fucking ejects him with the 24th gene. Yeah,
because she believes you have this weird kind of you have this weird scene between them where he's kind of dying and she's saying that she can inject him and he'll get superhuman everything, and he's saying, but you don't know that I might turn into one of them, and she's like, no, but I know you. I know that you're good, or whatever.
But they haven't seen each other. Weird. They haven't seen each other for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, well, but in the 10 years I haven't seen you, I've murdered innocent children.
She's like, oh, I'll just inject myself then. Don't worry about it. But like, again, it's this weird kind of, they used to be lovers kind of thing, like ex-lovers. You know what I mean? Where she's like, I know you. And he's like, you don't know me. And then she has the line, you're my brother. I know you. And I was like, they just put that in. Just to be like, don't, this isn't weird, guys. Don't worry. She knows him because he's the brother, okay? Not like anything else.
She's like, I've seen every part of you, every inch of you, as a brother.
As a brother. Oh, yeah, they just have this, it's like, there's this one secret that they never told anyone.
Yeah. They're like, remember on our secret wedding day as my brother?
He's like, shh.
Yeah. Someone might hear us.
The Duke's like, damn, you let that go?
Yeah. And The Rock's just staring at them like,
Damn, though, Duke got killed brutally. It was like a Looney Tunes. It was really weird. It was like a Looney Tunes thing where he's standing on like a grate, and for some reason there's like a demon underneath the grate, and it grabs his feet, and he looks down, looks back up at Sam,
Samantha.
Right?
Yeah.
And she looks at him, and she looks down, and he looks down, and he looks back up, and then he gets pulled back. He gets pulled through the grate, and it like cuts him up because it's this metal grate and whatever, and it like kills him. But it was like a Looney. It was like,
and then like
the
he's
cliff
screaming,
and they look down, whatever. Yeah,
he's screaming, and she's still like looking down, looking back up, looking down.
Doing the best Rock impression they can.
Yeah, it was it really did feel like he was going to hold up a sign like like, and then just fucking
look at the camera and shrug and be like,
damn. Like, yeah.
But yeah, there's some weird comical kind of slapstick things I think throughout the film, but it just kind of doesn't. It just kind of, they throw different things in there, and it's not very consistent like that. But then I love lines like in the final fight then between juiced up Karl Urban super soldier and evil demonic Dwayne the Rock Johnson, where they're kind of having a face off. They're looking at each other in the corridor. Sarge the Rock Johnson. I keep changing what I call him.
Sarge the
Rock military man has the BFG, and Karl Urban's got his rifle, and Sarge is like, "You gonna shoot me?" And Karl Urban's like, "I was thinking about it. Yeah." He's like, How much ammo you got?" He's like, half a clip. You? And he's like, he does his kind of, again, he does his Rock eyebrow where he looks slowly down at the gun and then he looks up at him like, yeah. And he's like, "I got 1 round."
Yeah.
And then they do the whole fight and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of mostly like enjoy the fight stuff. And
like, if it was choreography, actually,
like if it was if it wasn't Doom, then it was a different kind of. It almost feels like a Resident Evil kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the big complaint about this from not just us, but like everyone.
It's that classic. They just slapped Doom onto a film they wanted to make.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they do that weird thing as well, where Karl Urban still has like at least a round left in his in his rifle, and Dwayne the Rock Johnson stood there and he's looking at him, and then the Rock takes off his like utility belt and kind of like rolls his shoulders or something. He wants to like fist fight him, and instead of just like shooting him in the face and killing him. He's like, Karl Urban shoots the last bullet into the air and then drops everything, drops his stuff so that they can like fist fight, mano a mano. And I'm just like, okay, we're doing this. Yeah. Why? Just shoot him in the face. He's giving you this,
Oh, I would have loved that so much. Do you know what? That my respect for this film would have been like skyrocketed if it was like just fucking The Rock taking off everything, like, let's fight like men. And Karl Urban just got bang
like an Indiana Jones moment.
And then it just ends.
Yeah. He just shoots him.
Yeah.
And in that fight as well, it's just weird seeing The Rock not being stronger than somebody like Karl Urban.
Yeah.
He's like holding him back or whatever, and The Rock's like, really straining. And I'm just like, man, he'd crush anyone now.
Yeah, literally. With one hand.
Yeah.
He'd just throw Kevin Hart at you and fucking,
he's got him like, on his back all the time.
Yeah. But right.
I think that's the film.
Well, yeah. Bad film, good?
I don't know. It's funny to laugh at, like now, looking back at it and stuff, but I don't think... It's weird. Sometimes, even though it's not intentional, it's still bad film good. I'm going to say bad film not good, just because I don't think it's good. I think it's got good bits in it that I'd love to have like made it into a better film. But I didn't. Yeah, I'm going to go with bad film not good.
I think I'm putting bad film good-ish. Like there is definitely stuff I like, and I wrote it might be the best video game film, but I think I was just riding the high of seeing Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
There are definitely much better ones.
I think my biggest thing is like it just goes for too long. There's a lot of stuff not happening, and then them brushing over stuff. It feels like they crammed a lot in, and they should have just done hell. They should have just done stuck, gone with the one thing and gone with it. Also I forgot to make the joke earlier. BFG bad film good. It's the bad film good gun. I don't know how I didn't think of that. I don't know how I should have said it earlier. The killing zombies with literally our podcast. So I'll put it in right at the start. No, I'm checking. I'm not gonna.
You do that for the poster. We'll do it. Because Aidan's going to edit some posters for when we post things. So it'll be the BFG bad film good gun. Yeah. The BFGG. Yeah. The bad film gun. That's what.
Bad film gun.
Okay, well, review time, I guess. Should we look at some reviews for this masterpiece of a film? Yeah.
Let's get into it. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can do. So, as per usual, Aidan is looking at... I assume you found some from IMDb this week. And I usually look from Rotten Tomatoes. So, I've got two very small ones, very quick ones, because... The longer ones, there wasn't really anything kind of funny. It was just people saying, like, I don't really like the game. It's not the film. It's not like the game. I've got one that it just says, what a stinker, really. Not like the game Doom at all. Just another psycho BS movie. Right? So I think that's kind of the general... The general census. But then the other one I've got is just, no punctuation, apart from the end, just Doom action best movie video game film. That's it. That was their review, and I don't remember how many stars. I think it was like 5 stars.
Yeah. Oh, amazing! I've got one here. It's kind of a long one, so apologies for that.
I did a short one, so you've got extra.
Hell yeah!
To use
my allotted time. This is 8 out of 10. This was in 2005 as well, so straight off the bat.
And 8 out of 10. They've given it some thought. They've not gone one way or the other.
Yeah. There might be a reason for the 8 out of 10.
I see.
This is by Pam Heath. It says, Doom, forget everything else, The Rock.
Oh, there we go.
All the girls in the house say, hey. Okay, so I'm not someone who has played Doom, but I've seen it played. I play Warcraft, Starcraft, Diablo, Ultima Online, which I'm not sure what that is, EverQuest, and World of Warcraft.
I think it's a fighting thing.
I've even played Resident Evil. I think I think for that game, I think for that genre, that was, and what it was out to create.
Oh god.
This film delivers, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Give up your preconceived notions of what should be going on. That was all in capitals. If you were the filmmaker, you didn't make this film. That's like going to Thanksgiving dinner and critiquing the turkey. Eat it, enjoy it, and thank the host. Next year, you make the dressing. What?
Brilliant.
First,
I always think a good movie is like a Thanksgiving turkey. You know.
First, stop talking about ripping off men-turned-zombies a la Resident Evil. If they had done the hell demons running away amok, you would have complained it was a rip-off of Event Horizon? I guess. All right, already.
I mean, that's shaky.
Yeah, that's clutching at straws. Yeah. There's nothing new under the sun. I enjoyed the suspense of who was gonna bite it. Sorry.
This is painful.
No, it doesn't say that. It says, I enjoyed the suspense of who was gonna bite, and the Doom-like first-person shooter scene was excellent.
Who was gonna bite? I mean, bite anything, you know.
I'll read.
Who was gonna bite something next?
Yeah. Who's gonna eat a sandwich? This bit is in response to you directly. She's listened to this. Spoilers here, okay? Is what it says. The biggest upset was the guy in the toilet calling for backup. What the heck was that about? I didn't understand what he was trying to do. Get more people to come and help? The place was locked down under quarantine. Nobody was gonna come in there. Things got real complicated regarding the quarantine. People were evacuated, but what was the stuff at the end? Things were happening too fast to understand what exactly was happening. Where did Sam go when Reaper passed out? Who hurt her? Was she infected? What was going on? Who cares? I'm in love with The Rock!
Oh, there we go. I was going to say, they're making some good points actually with that. And then they came back around with
yeah. I love The Rock! Anyway.
It's a strong point. I mean, The Rock, you know, there we go.
Yeah. I just like the bit
plot
where
holes?
she's like, I didn't really understand what was going on.
I didn't know what was going on, but The Rock.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But look, we've talked about some dumb shit about the film, but should we talk about some real life dumb shit?
Some real life dumb shit. To balance it out, we've ripped into the film. Let's rip into real life now.
Yeah. I feel like you might rip into this. This is something that happened or I did.
Oh, brilliant. Younger. It's my favourite sort of story.
I've got a few of them.
Aidan's interesting story. By the way, that's where this segment kind of came from, is because Aidan is just loaded with just these crazy stories. I don't know if I said this last week, but we were just like, we've probably got enough to just go off of what he says. I mean, we'll get to the point when we get more listeners, you know, we'll get people to send in stuff, but...
some of these are good.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I've told you about this one, but have I told you about the time when I got the Coast Guard to look for me?
No.
So, I think this was on the Isle of Wight. I was quite young. I must have been about 5 or 6, maybe a bit older. I was 14. No.
It was yesterday.
Yeah. But so we were on this beach, and my dad, my sister, my brother were all like digging a hole or something, like next to the waves. Mum was chilling on the towels or whatever. So Mum goes, "Can you look after Aidan?" Like, because he's pissing me off, essentially. Dad's like, yeah. And then, like, maybe an hour goes by, and Mum's like, "Where's Aidan?" And then he's like, "Oh, I don't know. Good question." And I was gone. I was fucking gone. My mum was very upset. She was in tears. Like I said, they had to call people to help, including the Coast Guard. Not sure to what extent that went with, but yeah, it was a big thing. Like, other people were looking for me, not just my family, but like other families were looking for me.
That's the next level of, of being lost.
And eventually, my mum found me, like a fair distance away from where they were.
Yeah.
And she found me curled up into a hole, just like far away next to the coast, just in a hole.
Just in a hole.
And she's like streaming with tears, and she's like, Aidan, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm pretending to be a baby dinosaur. And she's like, okay, cool. Come the fuck here. We're going home. And that's the time I got the Coast Guard to look for me.
Oh my god. I mean, I got lost on the beach once when I was younger, but it was never like that. Like when because I mean, I've had to wear glasses most of my life, and I wasn't wearing them then, and I just kept running away down this beach, not realizing I was just running away from my... Like, eventually I turned around, I saw them, like, waving to me, like, where the fuck are you going? And I just kept running the wrong way. But I didn't curl into a hole. I'm a baby dinosaur.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I used to pretend to be, like, a lot of fucking stupid shit. But... it's just like,
and now we pretend to be podcasters.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that's.
I guess that's everything we got, right? Just some plugs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, next week we're going to be doing. What is it? Twins.
Yeah, let's do twins next week.
Who is it?
Yeah,
who are the two twins?
Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god, it was Arnold. So I've not seen this film. I knew it was Danny DeVito.
This film.
Yeah,
I love this film. Very good film. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if you want to, by the time this goes up, we'll have an Instagram and Twitter at @badfilmgood, all one word, lowercase. If you want to see what we're doing, if you want to see what's coming up, or just general random memes and funny stuff.
Yeah, we're going to start kind of getting everything up and running. You know,
yeah, for sure.
Soon, and we'll start trying to get all that stuff sorted.
Yeah, if you want to help us gain some more following, you could either tell a friend, that'd be really good, or give us a 5-star review on whatever you're listening to. Really
or both.
Grab it. Do both, otherwise we'll kill you.
Yeah, we'll find you and we'll put you in one of those arc thingies and send you through with a bomb, which is what they do at the end of that film.
Yeah.
You know. And your friends if they don't.
We'll tie you up, put you in a hole on the beach, and then make you pretend to be a baby dinosaur.
That's how we run things.
That's about all we got. I think what we'll do is just cheer you up, send you off through the week. We'll end with an inspirational quote from Inspirable, as per usual.
Yeah. Do you want to take the lead on that one? Do you want to do your one first?
Yeah. So what we've done, we've gone to aspirabot.com, which is a website, makes randomly generated quotes and slaps it onto a random image. So my one is a bit insane. It says, become a slave. Oh, sorry. It's a woman just walking in front of a yellow wall, by the way.
Okay.
Not relevant.
Yeah.
Become a slave to the circuits of sodomy. Despise the love-making of your own weight. Contextualize the beauty, not the uselessness. Never believe in dancing. Follow the concept of a suspicion. Despise the boredom of existence. Be honest about the scars, not to the riots. Don't search for fun. I'm not even halfway.
What? How much writing is there?
Not the silliness. Never despise the clumsiness of excrement. Embrace the sneakiness of friendship. Always regret. I'm not going to do the whole thing. It's honestly, the whole entire image is just text.
Oh my god.
At first I was like, I guess the image is all this text and they've put the woman walking in front. But it's not, because I saw this image again with more text and it was just like, examine the will of an image.
So it just went wild.
They just went wild. It's just a fucking like whole paragraph. covering the entire image.
Well, my one is he's a diver. It's just a guy in the deep blue with a little scuba mask on. He's got his flippers. You know, he's swimming about, and it just says, "Take your wife," which is quite the contrast to you.
Yeah. Good. All right. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.